the thing I wanted to mention about coffee is that basically coffee has, as we spoke about last week, you should definitely have your coffee daily chart loaded up, because what's happening with coffee again, you see how we had that rundown in volatility here. So we had basically a spike in volatility up till May. Then we had that really severe drop in volatility. Then we've had another run up in volatility, and now we're really kind of starting to drop off in volatility. So when we see this run down in volatility, so can everybody see that that daily chart now? Is that nice and clear? Yep. So you can see that we've got price coming off here on the daily chart. So that's our first clue that we're getting a potential drop in volatility. Now, if you've got a selling market, usually when you see a fairly good sell-off, that usually is a catalyst for a rise in volatility, a spike in volatility. Particularly if you see it on the the S&P, you'll see the VIX, which is the volatility index, that'll start to rise. But as you can see here on coffee, we're seeing a bit of a drop in volatility and a bit of a drop in range as well, as you can see from these last few price bars that are printed. So what that is telling us is that we definitely, from this area here, and we spoke about this 2 weeks ago, we should not be trading the 89 tick because there's just not enough range for our session. However, dropping it down to the 55 tick has been just been fantastic, because we've still been able to trade coffee, which is one of our better markets as far as the commodities, and it's just really it's making new equity highs. So, and if you have a look at the consistency of this of coffee, you can see that it's just been trading beautifully over the last couple of weeks. It had a little bit of a drawdown here on the 6th, but apart from that, it's been very, very consistent. And if we go to a monthly look, you'll see that it's only it's slightly down in June, but I'm sure that with a bit of a push up, we'll definitely take care of that $86. I have no issue about that. So one thing we do need to watch though, and we can see from our trade list that the daily chart is giving us some good profit there. That if we go to the weekly, we just need to keep an eye on. We just need to keep an eye on June, just to be sure, because we're getting that drop in volatility on the daily. We might get to a stage. Remember on the DAX, what was the cutoff point on the DAX for trading the DAX? Does anybody remember what our value on this volatility stochastic was on the DAX? Does anybody remember what that value was that we marked up? I marked up in the and you should really be looking at your volatility extremes: high volatility, low volatility. It was 16 on this volatility stochastic. So once we get to a value at below 16 on the DAX, it's really not profitable for us to be trading that market, or not advisable for us to be trading. So you really want to find where your zones are on coffee and any market you trade. You want to basically, because remember, there's a number of tools we can use when we're trading to determine, okay, well, what market are we trading? What's the volatility like? Are we supposed to actually have the system on? So to me, with the DAX, for example, if this volatility stochastic is over 100, so if it's over 99, I'm turning this thing off. And if it's below 16, I'm turning it off. So they're the two zones for me. 16 is my kind of point at which I turn it off, and above 99, I've got it off as well. But anytime that this indicator is trading inside of that zone, I'll basically have it on, but I'll be just watching and monitoring for drops in volatility or spikes in volatility, because I know that if I get a spike in volatility, I may want to basically either look at my targets or examine my stops, or also look at a higher tick frame. So we went from the 89 to 55, so we could reverse that and go back to the 89. And that's all I wanted to really say on coffee. So any questions on coffee? Anybody got any questions on that? Steph, you've joined us. I know you're tracking coffee now. So yeah, any questions on that? We just missed crude, but we've covered crude already, and that